Hello there, good evening. My name is Muhammad Ali Marikar, and this is the fourth Asian virtual conference on institutional and action research. I have been given this opportunity to deliver my keynote speech on the theme, Revivifying Organizations through Institutional and Action Research in the New Normal. I would like to thank the organizers, Dr. Naru Hapos, and the rest of the panel of this particular conference. Continual experimentation is the new normal, as told by Carissa Thacker. Today, in this VUCA environment, organizations need to be dynamic and competitive in order to survive, sustain, and grow their business. As we have seen in the post-COVID pandemic, the kind of disruptions, whether it is technological or operational level disruptions, are all over the place. Businesses are struggling to cope up with the challenges that they've been faced, whether it is work from home, remote working, and it's very evident. Change is the only constant, or you can say the only inevitable constant in this new normal. Change management has, as we all know, systematic approach to transitioning and transforming the organizational goals, processes, is the need of the hour. Organizations that fail to change, fail to exist. So why is this theme so relevant today? Because as we all know, that organizations' survival is no more a choice. It requires a lot more than just day-to-day operations. As we know, change can be both planned and unplanned. When we talk about planned change, for instance, if we are going to upgrade our technological infrastructure in the organization, this can be considered a planned change. However, COVID-19 was unprecedented. Even the experts were not predicting a pandemic that can cause a disruption at the scale in which we are seeing today. Whether it is travel industry, hospitality industry, or any business, as a matter of fact, it's rare to see a business that probably did not have an impact, whether directly or indirectly, as a result of the pandemic. So why is action research for organizational development significant and vital, as the conference theme focuses on an institutional and action research in the new normal? It's understood that by working and learning parallelly, employees, people within the organization are able to transform their organization into a learning organization. According to Suber-Skerrit, action research methods that can lead the organization into becoming action research systems that can have positive effects on the organizational development. Because organizations, when the organizations leverage the power of the people within to drive towards the solution, then automatically the organization transforms itself into becoming an action research system. The action research model, as told by Levin, is you plan, you act, then you observe and you reflect, and then you replan. It's an iterative process. Continuously, the organization needs to look into the plan and then act upon the plan and observe while the plan is being executed, and relearn, reflect, and go back to the plan. As we all know, business environment is not static. It's a dynamic environment. What is the difference between the action research and our traditional research? First thing is, in an action research, the problem is more practical. In fact, the results and findings will have an immediate improvement to the application, in addition to contributing to the knowledge base. However, in a traditional research, the research problem is more from the gap that was identified in the literature. In an action research, the researcher is usually a co-worker. It could be an employee working in the organization who jointly conducts the research with other employees and other workers to address a practical problem. Because we are talking about the dynamic social science environment in a business or an industry. While in the traditional research, a researcher usually comes in as an outsider, an expert, subject matter expert, and they conduct inquiry with the participants, who could be the employees, workers of the organization. The involvement in an action research is from the start to the end. The participants are part of the research. They are hands-on, learning as they conduct the research or try to identify the solution to the problem. While in a traditional research, participants are usually involved during the data collection stage. In an action research, the design is very dynamic. The frequency of change is much higher, and we can always control the research outcome or validate the research outcome through use of a triangulation method. While in a traditional research, the control is more rigorous and the framework is fixed. So with this in mind, I would like to share a small experience that I had in an action research. It was a case study, and it was a problem which was in the industry that I come from, which is wood waste. Several hundreds, thousands of tons of wood waste goes to the landfill every year. And what does that imply? The burning of waste, which leads to carbon emission, which leads to higher tax that the country has to bear to the United Nations or the international bodies. So when I was a part of this action research team, we had multiple options to come up with as a solution to wood waste. Ideally, wood waste gets collected and gets reused for pallet manufacturing. In many cases, gets transformed into wood dust, which then goes into stables of the horses. It's used as the bedding for the horses, but not all wood. There's a lot of wood that gets rejected and it has to go to the landfill. So a few years ago, we were part of this the study, and I played a small role in contributing to the ideas. And we identified a way to come up with, or rather say that we thought of coming up with a solution that why not use this waste wood to make furniture grade panels. Although we had the idea, we were not subject matter experts. So we had to involve technical team, and the project eventually became a successful manufacturing unit where recycled wood gets into becoming furniture grade panels. And this means a great revolution in the wood sustainability solution, because hundreds and thousands of tons that is being routed to the landfills can be retained and reused, not just as pallets, but as high quality furniture grade uh, panels, which could be used for manufacturing wardrobes and other furnitures. What were some of the societal outcomes from this project or from this action research? The first thing is, this is a much more effective, environmental friendly alternative than sending those waste wood to the landfills. And number two, this, if successfully launched at a large scale, can significantly reduce the quantity of wood that is being imported from rest of the world, because in the Middle East, we do not have furniture grade quality wood that is manufactured out of the trees that are grown locally. So we have to import lumber and wood panels from all over the world, which means shipping and a lot of carbon footprint, which leads to a lot of cost to the country. So this, if implemented in a large scale, could lead to significant reduction in the importing of virgin wood. And then this is also in line with the United Nations and the climate change goals. Because as we know, every country has taken some aggressive steps towards a greener and an environmental friendly initiative when it comes to manufacturing and usage within that particular country. So this is again in line with that particular ambition and goal. And last but not least, this kind of initiatives can lead to lesser cutting down of the forests, which means we are not reducing carbon emission, rather we are capturing carbon. We're keeping carbon back in the atmosphere. So this was one example how an action research brought out the solution, which was practical from within the organization or from within the committee. And with that, I would like to thank you all for listening patiently. And I wish you all the very best. And thank you once again for this great opportunity.